My name is Sydney, and this is my bookshelf with some of the books that I've read throughout the year. The theme of my collection is Trouble in Paradise because all of these novels talk about the struggle that some of the characters go through. Let's start off with Looking for Alaska. Looking for Alaska is a realistic fiction novel written by John Green in the first person. It includes humor, love, separation, loss, and struggle to re-establish a new life. It is about a teenager, Miles Harder, who attends Culver Creek boarding school and who meets a young girl, Alaska Young, who is emotionally unstable, and she helps him adapt to his new boarding school. One day, Alaska is involved in a bad car crash and his world is turned upside down. I really enjoyed this book. It has become one of my favorite books of all times. I think it's an exceptional story, and it definitely fits into my Trouble in Paradise theme because it is the struggle that this boy goes through after someone so close to him leaves and is just gone one day to another. And it is Things Not Seen. Things Not Seen is a fiction novel written by Andrew Clement in the first person, which includes humor, love, emotional torture, and struggle. Things Not Seen is the story of Bobby Phillips, a 15-year-old boy who one day wakes up and realizes that his body is now invisible. From that point on, his life is changed upside down. I love this book because what happens to him is unusual and unexpected, and the journey he takes to reappear is the hardest part in his life and will probably the most scarring experience. This fits perfectly into my Trouble in Paradise theme because the book is based on the fact that this boy's life is completely destroyed from one day to another as he is now invisible and cannot talk to anybody. The next book is Insurgent. It is a dystopian novel written by Veronica Roth in the first person. It includes love, loyalty, mystery, surprise, torture, and humor. Insurgent is the story of a divergent couple, Tris and Four, trying to save their world from Janine, an evil government official, and the rest of the erudite faction as they are trying to take over the city. Throughout the book, Tris is left in the dark until one day she finds out her parents sacrificed their life for something, but she doesn't know what, and she is about to find out. I love this book. I thought it was well written and the story behind it is lovely. This fits right into my theme because Tris is trying to recover the lives her parents left behind to protect the world, and she is now in charge. She is now the person everybody looks up to. She went from being a simple girl to a leader. The next book is Lost Boy. The Lost Boy is a non-fiction novel written by Dave Pelzer in the first person. It includes a mystery, hardship, violence, sadness, and confusion. The Lost Boy is the story of a foster child in California, Dave Pelzer, whom after being beaten time after time by his mother travels from foster family to foster family with no home to come back to. This is a heartbreaking story of a 12-year-old child who suffers emotional and physical hardship. This book was really hard for me to finish, but I loved it, and it's interesting to see how the writer is actually the character in his book. This fits into my Trouble in Paradise theme because his mother only started beating him when he was about 4 years old, and it was completely out of the blue. And then finally he finds this great foster family, but is moved, and then he's moved again and again and again, and it never stops for him. The fifth book is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, written by Mark Twain. It is a fiction novel in the third person. It includes friendship, adventure, loyalty, and courage. It is the story of a young boy, Tom Sawyer, and his want to become a thief and a crook. Him and his friend, Huckleberry Finn, enjoy searching for treasures, even though they know they will never find them. But one day, they find something very unexpected. I loved reading this book because it's different from everything I've read so far. It's a classic. I think it fits into my Trouble in Paradise theme because his entire life is fine until he finds this treasure and all this money, and then he has to worry about people stealing it, and he has all this stress and all these expectations, and his life becomes a constant struggle. Finally, the last book is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It is the sequel to the Tom Sawyer novel. It is also written by Mark Twain in the third person. It includes odd friendships, adventure, courage, and lots of lies. It is the story of a young boy, Huckleberry Finn, and his long journey on a raft with his African-American friend Jim down the Mississippi River. All this to escape his father. This book is fabulous. I really loved it. I think the odd interaction and relationship between Huckleberry and Jim is unexpected. This fits in perfectly with the Trouble in Paradise theme because Huckleberry Finn is living a perfectly normal life, and then all of a sudden he runs away, and then his life becomes an adventure, and it becomes also a struggle to live without getting caught. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I recommend you read all of these books. They are all great books. And if you'd like to purchase any of these books, the link is down below.